held, ma'am, we've been taking very active measures to augment our physical infrastructure at different locations. And Northeast is also a focus area, it is not different, ma'am. It is just that in the northeastern states, pre-GST, we had just 3 commissioners, and now in view that we have 11, the number has really grown, and the infrastructure we are taking some time to catch up with. So, of the 11 commissioners in this region, ma'am, we have 3 which are located in our own region, and for the rest of them we already have plans, which are at different stages of maturity in terms of acquiring the land and formulating proposals. But the end objective is to ensure that in every commissionerate in this region, and we have a commissionerate in every state now, and in the largest state, Assam, we have more than one. Our end objective is to ensure that there is adequate office accommodation available to the officers at each location. And we are very thankful to the CPWD and their officers, their local team here in Agartala for giving us their support in completing this project in record time. So we acquired the land quite some time back, ma'am. It was initially envisaged to be a customs division office, but with the GST coming in, the requirement has obviously grown. And what we finally see here is a 7-story building which accommodates a whole GST division and a customs division and monetary division with the audit formation. So, and we started the work on this project, I think, in 2019, late 2019, and we finished it in 2022. We've already been in occupation of the building for a few months now. And I once again thank the CPWD officers for doing this for us. As you've seen, ma'am, the building is according to the latest specification. It has all the amenities. We have specially kept in mind the requirements of the trade, and we have kept aside an auditorium on the top floor so that we can have outreach programs like you were emphasizing in the morning, ma'am, and we can keep meeting with the trade, resolve their grievances, and to help them handle them in whatever way they want. So, with that, I welcome all of you once again for this function, and on behalf of CBIC, and I thank you, ma'am, and the Revenue Secretary for taking the trouble of coming all the way. It's a very big morale boost to our staff who work here, who are located here, and I'm sure it will inspire them to do their best in the coming years and the future. Thank you very much, Jai.
Thank you, sir. Now, I request respected Revenue Secretary, Sri Sanjay Malhotra sir, to please address the gathering.
Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, the Chairperson of CBIC, Mr. Vivek Gauri, the members of the Board of CBIC, officers of CBIC and State Government, distinguished guests present over here, media, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed my pleasure to be here today on this occasion of the inauguration of the GST Bhavan in Agartala. It's my first visit to Agartala. That's why it is, consider it a lucky day for me to have been here. I planned a visit earlier this month. Unfortunately, it could not materialize, and so I am indeed very happy to come on this land of Tripura, famous for the temple, Tripura Sundari temple that you have over there. Also very happy to be here because I am told, I was talking to the liaison officer and the other officers over here, and especially with regard to GST, there is hardly even evasion, which is very, very minimal. So while the awards were given out by the Honorable Minister today. And we did, of course, have awards, a lot of awards, for tax evasion, etc. And some of them, of course, also belong to this region. But I would like to compliment the people of Tripura for following the land, for following the law of the land, for their compliance and for their honest behavior. The Honorable Finance Minister also mentioned in her speech in the morning that the Northeast, the whole of Northeast, including Tripura, has done very well post GST. And of course, not only it's because of the design of the GST, which favors or which brought a shift from the manufacturing to the destination-based principle of taxation, but it is also a recognition of the hard work which has been put in, not only by the officers who are present here today, but also, more importantly, I think, of the taxpayers, because of their compliant and honest nature, that we have got good growth in this whole of region, especially in Tripura. I'm sure that you will all, continue to do this good work. And as also, mentioned by the chairperson, you have a building. It has been our endeavor. The Honorable Finance Minister has been very, very keen and supportive, and she has been urging us to provide the infra, whether it is for offices, for residences, or for training. We are coming up, with, as you are aware, a new training institute for the officers of the CBIC. And so, while we do all this, I'm sure all of you will also. Other thing, I wanted to mention here is that making buildings is very comparatively easy. It's not easy. It's difficult, but comparatively, it's easy. Maintaining those buildings is even more difficult. So I would urge all those who are present here and those who are going to use this building, either as officers or users, as citizens, when you are coming. The building is nice and beautiful right now. I hope and I would urge all of you that we continue to keep it clean, keep it nicely. We spend so much of time on this, and we do a pakwada, as you are aware, around 2nd of October. We do a month, in fact, of the cleaning drive. So let that thing also continue and keep this building clean. The infra is already there. This will also help all of us in improving our efficiency. Once again, many congratulations to CBIC and CPWD for giving us this building in a short period of time. Thank you. Jai.
Thank you so much, sir. Words have a deep impact on the listeners. Words empower us, motivates us, and guides us. May I now request Honorable Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, to enlighten us with her valuable speech. Good evening, Revenue Secretary Sanjay Malhotra, Chairman CBIC Vivek Chowdhury, members of the board, distinguished officers from the state government, eminent citizens of Tripura, traders, associations and members of the trade bodies, and all those who have come here today to participate in this function on a human important note. I'm indeed very grateful for your presence here. Vivek Chowdhury clearly said the importance that good infrastructure plays for officers to do their duty. I'm glad after a wait that Tripura has got the GST Bhavan, and we see that the place has enough room for officers and others from the field formations to work, and more importantly, that it has a place where citizens who are part of the stakeholders, who have some interest in the GST or who would want to become associates, can approach this office, and there is a space dedicated for their purpose with an officer seated there to answer their questions. In case they want to do filing from here itself, either because they don't have the facility, they are operating at a very small level, even that facilitation is being provided. So I think this construction speaks for the open mindedness with which GST and its officers are trying to keep the citizen in mind, the businesses in mind, the traders in mind, and creating an office setup wherein they can function, but they can be accessible for those who need that help. So I'm glad that that approach has prevailed, and as a result, this building, although it's in a smaller sized plot, has vertically grown and has got enough space, and thoughtfully it also has space for training of officers. So in all, I think this building is now very adept for dealing with a growing facility. And I say growing, I did mention in the morning when we met when we had a gathering for awarding well-functioning officers, I did say what GST has actually made as a difference for the Northeast. There are one or two things which I want to highlight specific to Tripura. We all know that GST is a consumption-based tax, and the more a state consumes, the more GST is collected from there, and therefore to that extent, a commensurate extent, GST is also provided to that state. Tripura actually before the GST was introduced received only 4.21 crores as central sales tax collection, and from the collection, Tripura's share was 4.21 crores. And that is true of 2016-17, the year 17, the year before GST was introduced. Whereas in 22-23, the year which ended as of March 23, Tripura collects 982.50 crores from interstate trade, whereas 4.21 crore and whereas 984.21 versus 982.50 crores, 982.50 crores within a matter of 5 to 6 years. So post GST, the collection and the revenue generation for Tripura has been extremely favorable. Where it was single digit, it's gone to 3 digits in crores. So interstate trade has now been greatly facilitated, and therefore I think it is showing on how GST has actually meant good for the Northeast teams. And Tripura's number is almost enviable. Of course, Tripura needs a lot more resources. But the fact that within 6 years, under the same head, you're getting so much more proves the need for greater coordination through the GST. And of course, with GST coming in, more businesses have come into the system. However, with an office like this, with a bhavan like this, and which has kept the citizen in mind, I would think it's necessary for us all, to do an outreach along with the state government, so that more small businesses understand that they stand to benefit by enrolling in the GST. By staying away, many of the benefits which accrue to the GST registered companies are not available if they stay out. Even if they are just composition, those who opted for the composition system, they still derive a lot of benefits. Large companies do not want to buy or procure goods or service from non-GST institutions. It will do well for more and more institutions to come into the GST fold, for which now that you have a building in your hand, it will be important to call the trade, small associations or big associations, and interact with them to say, through their members, get more people enrolled, and for which the state government also should be requested to cooperate and draw more people from Tripura. And when I speak of Tripura, I am fully conscious that the terrain is such that access to some parts of the state is very difficult. And for such areas, it might help for us to go there and sit and talk rather than invite them, leaving the businesses, to come over to the government. So there should be a two-pronged approach. Those who can come here through the associations, let them come. And for those who are in the far-flung areas, in order that they can appreciate the GST's benefits, it might be worth the officers here to consider going and meeting them in their respective areas and telling them what it does to their own businesses and to the state as well. So without taking much of your time, this building will give you all the necessary infrastructural requirement which normally officers should basically have. It's not some luxury, it's to have a convenient workplace, and that's what has been provided now. So I would feel that the officials here can maximum utilize this place in order that you are able to explain yourself and also redress grievances. So thank you very much for coming here. All the very best to the Tripura unit, and whether it is GST or customs, because you are a border state, it is very important to remain alert. So the customs also has to play a very carefully thought out role and quietly and without making too much glitches, so that trade between the two countries is facilitated rather than hindered. So thank you very much for listening to me patiently. Jai Hind.